be like the bird, that pausing in her flight, a while on boughs too slight, feels him give away, and beneath her, and yet sings, knowing she has wings. I love that old poem. But the point is that we have to get in places sometimes where we need help, and guess where it is? It's helping somebody else. When we help somebody else, we discover that we have a whole new dimensions of wings that, we can fly.
Welcome to A Wonderful World, a place dedicated to new conversations on caregiving, offering quality advice based on heartfelt experience from industry experts. We'll be using the power of sound and imagery to present bold ideas and needed inspiration, immersing the audience in a brand new world of better caregiving. In this episode, your host Stephen White interviews Dr. Dale Caleb White, his father, and a pastor and caregiver for over 7 decades. Together, they'll explore interesting problems and solutions for caregivers, all to enjoy a more rewarding experience in an effort to create a starting point for a better, more caring, and more wonderful world.
I just celebrated my 85th birthday. It's a strange, a wonderful view. It's sort of like you used to climb the mountains, out in the Wallowas, and it's like summiting. When you reach the top, and on the way up, it gets pretty tough, and you kind of just keep going. You don't really think you're going to make it, and then there you are. You actually come up on the summit, and you're going, wow.
This wow realization, inspired by his recent milestone birthday, led Pastor Dell to a revolutionary confrontation with himself over the idea of a get-to versus got-to mindset, relevant to not only caregiving, but living a fuller and more meaningful life, period. He explains it further here.
There are two ideas that keep coming up, whether I want them to or not. As I look back, I don't know whether I ever noticed it, but the idea is like what I express now as you get to or you got to. This is just a theme that begin to float back and forth. I wish that I could have grasped this earlier, because every day is the same way. It's like, oh no, I gotta do this or I gotta do that, or no, I get up. It's going to be a little bit of a tough thing at 85 to get up and get my shower and get all. But man, all of a sudden, I get to do it. I can do it. And,
I think that's phenomenal. This concept, obviously, just for life, but it's also a phenomenal concept for caregiving, because I think that a lot of the caregiving, I don't even want to call it a market, but the caregivers, a lot of them kind of come at it from the idea that I have to be a caregiver, or, oh boy, I'm burdened with being a caregiver. And in reality, I found in my life that caregiving is actually such a beautiful time. And what I guess I want people to know is that you look back at the times that you've been a caregiver, and it's the most special and beautiful and precious time of your life. And every day matters, and it's so special. And it is a now experience.
Get to versus got to. A radically simple way to profoundly change your approach to caregiving in life. And now we turn from me to we. Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General, recently identified social isolation as the most prevalent disease in America today. So how do we use this get-to mindset to battle the beast of loneliness?
When you're going through the challenges of dealing with pain and dealing with what everybody tags as chronic illness or whatever you want to call it, but what it really is loneliness. And
that's absolutely right.
And you deal with this thing that I don't know what else to call it, but it feels like a lack of control of your life. All of a sudden somebody's telling you when to get up, when to go to bed, take your medicine, blah blah blah, and there's this regimen of control, And as a caregiver, you don't want to come in and try to control somebody. You want to come in and you want to just come alongside them. And I thought that was so deep and cool, is that you're a teammate, you're a partner, and you want to find ways to experience with them and be a teammate and be a partner with them. And I love that, because it is a lonely experience, and what we're trying to do is to, in life, period, is we're trying to make it not a lonely experience and to realize that we're not alone. Truth of the matter is we are not alone. We're in this together.
Oh, I'm old, but I'm awfully tough. Ha, ha. Oh, I'm old, but I'm awfully tough. And the girls, they all say, in their jolly old way, he's old, but he's awfully tough.
So far, we've learned some profoundly simple and useful ways to approach caregiving. But how does this actually work in practice? And what would be the likely results? Pastor Dale ends this episode by telling us a story of what happened when he actually applied a get-to attitude to an old and lonely soul. And the results promise to inspire.
Yeah, the word comes to my mind here describing that's infectious. I remember way back early in my ministry, I had to, you got to go call on so-and-so. Somebody said, you got to go call on Mr. Woodruff. And I knew who Mrs. Woodruff was, but I didn't see Mr. Woodruff. And he was an old logger back in the days, and they cut down those huge trees out on the coast and so on. And he was a little bitty guy. And so I went in, what the heck am I going to say? I got a little prayer I can read, but I went in and somebody was helping me out, because I said, I saw a picture on the wall. I said, wow, that is a huge tree. It is wide. And I said, is that you? The picture of him up on this tree. They cut a hole, put a board in, and he's up there with a crosscut saw and an axe. And I said, this is amazing. Did you do this? The guy, we thought he was, in minutes away from death. The guy perked up, some kind of medicine, and climbed out of bed. And I can remember his wife's eyes just getting wide. And then, so I talked about this a little bit, and I said, you got any more pictures? And he said, yeah, I have someplace. I said, boy, I'm going to come back and make me some coffee. And, and then he followed me out of his room, the sick room, the death room. And he followed me out in the front row and showed me a couple other pictures he had on the walls. And then when I went outside, doggone it, this guy didn't follow me outside. He walked me right out to my car. And so I said, I'm going to come by, and I told him when. When I came by, there he was out on the front porch waiting for me with a whole stack of pictures. And, boy, I wish I had those pictures now. They were incredible pictures, of logging in the old days. And he had just, but the whole point there was, it was just some kind of infection took place there and then, of course, the point that you're just making is, guess what? When I drove away, I was the one that felt like, wow, this is an amazing day, I discovered something that was amazing, that the caregiver gets more than he gives. There's just a rule, a universal rule of the universe. It's only God's laws, I think, that you can't, if you really give love away, you're going to get more back.
Wow. That's true. That is so true.
So there you have it. We all have a choice. Get to or got to. When you recognize that we all get to care for others, loneliness fades away. And the more love you give, the more you get back. It's a law of the universe. For the entire interview, simply go to the audio section of awonderfulworld.us. That's all for now. See you next time.